Wits University students have vowed that no lectures will take place on Monday. This after Wits management postponed the General Assembly session scheduled for today. Now they claim they could not reach a consensus with students. Classes have been suspended for 3 weeks now following violent clashes. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis has been tracking developments on the Wits campus fast. We're live to her now. Good afternoon, Chriselda. Students pushing on with this General Assembly session. What's happening now?
Well, that's right, Kirshni. It doesn't seem like there's any end in sight to the debacle here at Wits University. Right here behind me at this tent is where students are continuing with their General Assembly and are saying that they want this university or want to ensure that this university does not open on Monday. Of course, you'd recall this all follows that announcement by the Wits Vice-Chancellor, Professor Adam Habib, a bit earlier on, that the university was now cancelling this assembly due to the fact that they're saying that they could not reach consensus with the students. And essentially two of the sticking points that both parties mention here is the fact that the students could not give a guarantee or that the university would open on Monday. And the university says then that made them uncomfortable. The second issue was the format of the General Assembly itself. The assembly that the university says the students had demanded that there be some representations that were made from the floor. So the university expressed concern, saying that it did not believe that that would be the best way to carry out the General Assembly, also saying that that might have caused some havoc, some tensions might also have arisen while that General Assembly was underway, so they did not see it fit that that would be the format that would be used. So following that announcement, we've really seen students really push forward, coming down here to this tent that was initially erected for this assembly. They then took over and continued. We saw some of the clergy as well who were showing some support, as well as some of the parents who have come all the way from Soweto, including some of the other areas as well, to pledge support for these students. So at this rate, there's absolutely no telling when this debacle will end at Wits University. What will happen now is that the University Council will meet on Sunday to decide whether to open these doors of learning on Monday. So that's really going to be one of the much watched issues, which will really tell how Wits University moves forward. But despite the decision or whatever outcome that the council does make or does have, it certainly doesn't seem like it's going to deter these students from going on the rampage again on Monday. They're adamant that they're going to continue with their protest until they get free education and free education now.
That was the reporter Chriselda Lewis coming to us from the Wits campus in Johannesburg.
There has been no consensus from all constituencies, and particularly no agreement from the protesting students that the academic program will continue on Monday. To note again, we had agreed with everybody else that we'd go through the General Assembly, we'd march, we'd declare support, and I'll read that out in a minute, but that we would open on Monday, begin the resumption of the academic program. All constituencies agreed to that, except the protesting students.
Well, what the university is also indicating is that at this point, the closure of the university for the remainder of the academic year is off the cards at this point. What the university is saying is that we'll try to find other means, perhaps looking at online teaching for the remainder of the teaching period, which is almost coming to an end. It will need to find alternative solutions, but it says at this point they want to ensure that the remainder of the academic year is not further disturbed, but also students in their response have also had their say, saying that they're going to continue with this protest action. They will mobilize more students to come and join them. And essentially what they're saying is that none of the universities that have shut down should reopen until government takes a stand on the issue of free education and free education now. Let's take a listen.
That's a given. there's no way in which we cannot write exams. If Adam Habib comes and meets us today, probably we will find a way forward. Currently, we can't find a way forward on our own when he's running away from us. He also can't find a solution when he addresses us through the media. We want an engagement. We are still open for a dialogue. We are still open for a general assembly, whatever he calls it, whether it's an imbizo, whether it's a colloquium, we are open. If he says tomorrow, we will come. If he says Sunday, we will come. How is he going to open on Monday even if he hasn't engaged us? He's saying he listens to students who write to him on Facebook and on Twitter. You can't be a vice chancellor and operate like that. This is a joke. Here are students, they're waiting for him. He's there at 11th floor. Why is he not coming to address the student, and then we try to find an amicable solution moving forward?
Well, certainly mediators have had a very tough task trying to avert a further difficult situation here at Wits University. We've heard one of the mediators there, Advocate Dalimpofu, describe just a little bit earlier on when we were speaking to him, saying that what they avoided here was a bloodbath at Wits University. You'd recall the scenes that we saw at this university in clashes between protesting students and the police as well. However, the situation at the university remains extremely calm at this point. For how long that will be certainly remains to be seen, but the university also indicated that it will not hesitate increasing the security complement as well as the police contingent if it feels that the university is under threat at any given point. What we do know is that mediators negotiated way into the early hours of this morning at past 3 o'clock in the morning to try and reach a consensus, but that was to no avail. Let's listen to what Advocate Dalimpofu had to say.
I've been sent here now by the mediating team because the students called us now and said, can we come and talk here? I conferred with my other colleagues. They said I must come here because our position was we will only carry on with the mediation if we are needed. So we withdrew a bit until such time that we got a call from them, and one of my colleagues, our convener, Tiago Musaneke, also got a call from Professor Habib. So now that we know that they both need us, we are ready to mediate or play any role that they want us to play or not play any role. It's not our business to be here. We have our other businesses and offices to run, but for as long as we are needed, we'll make sure that bloodshed is not, blood is not shed here, number one, and number two, that the struggle for free education is advanced, because we believe firmly that free education is possible, that the government, if it puts its mind to it, can deliver on free education. And therefore, we are hoping that we'll be able to engage with all the stakeholders, government, university, and students for those ideals.
Well, all eyes now, Kirshni, are on that council meeting, which will sit on Sunday to decide whether Wits University will open on Monday. But certainly what the university is saying at this point is that it will really need to look at other contingency plans that it can put in place, in particular because already the university has already had to amend the timetable for the rest of the academic year, as well as provide alternative dates for the examinations. The students who are gathering here behind me say they will continue with their action at this point. So there's really no end in sight to the situation at Wits University at this point, and students say they will continue with their protests. So all eyes are on that meeting on Sunday, which will certainly be would paint a picture of what the expectation would be for the remainder of Sunday going into Monday as well.